BIM, or Building Information Modeling, as it stands for, is really a lot of different things to a lot of different people. It depends on what you're using it for. But to me, what it really represents is a series or a combination of processes that are technology enabled, and they are meant to increase understanding of a project. They are meant to help a design and construction team communicate to each other and to their client and the public and anybody else that might be interested in hearing it, what the project is all about. So it's different things to different people, but in a nutshell, it's not a piece of software, it's about a process, it's about a way to do things.
Well, the building information model is a digital representation of the building, made up of objects that are related, starting with the building itself, then moving down to the spaces that make up the building, then the systems in the spaces, the products that make up the spaces, and then the properties, and the relationships between these objects and the constraints.
The key differentiator for BIM is not just the 3D geometry, but the structured information that associates to that geometry. So it goes a step beyond, and I think for much of us it's very hard to articulate what the difference is, because all the visuals you see, the fly-throughs, etc., show a 3D image, but what it doesn't fully capture is all the information behind it, and the improved process and coordination of that information.
Using that building information model, the whole project team can work together to get some real key benefits. So the designers can work together to actually construct that building digitally. If a building is worth building, it's worth building twice, once digitally and then once physically. And if you build it first digitally, then you know it fits together properly. You can work with the structural engineer, the services engineer, the architect to make sure all those elements fit together digitally before you then hand over that information to the construction team. The construction team can then get benefits themselves in terms of during the construction process, whether that's purchasing the materials, seeing what materials are there, or looking maybe at one of the materials and then quickly querying to find out what the specification of that material actually is. Not just about the 3D aesthetics in the CAD model, but also about the related specification, whether that's the specification of the properties or how that material should be installed or maintained. In the ideal world, that building information modelling would finally be handed over to the building owner, and then they can get key benefits on managing the building when they come to alter the building or refurbish it, or monitor the building and use costs.
BIM, well, if you ask the technical bods, as far as they're concerned, it's an amalgamation of various software packages pulled together to produce a 3D model that's wonderful. From my perspective, from my background, banking, etc., it's a collaborative tool. It's a collaborative tool that is hopefully going to drag not just new build, but also potentially retrofit issues into the 21st century. It's really going to drag them up by their bootstraps and give them the necessary technology to be able to take this built environment construction sector into more of a scientific world. That's what it needs.
BIM allows you to capture really all the information in terms of design, ultimately 3D operation for a building. Items that would rather otherwise be written in specifications, in schedules, it would be in a big ring binder under somebody's desk. So BIM brings all of that together, and by being in a central database for all those different systems, it also allows those to be well coordinated.
If I had to boil down what the merit of building information modeling really is, for me it really comes down to risk management. By understanding the project really well, we take away the risk. And as we all know, building projects nowadays are hugely complicated. So the more we can understand what everybody else in the design team means and all the other subcontractors and what the owner's needs are, the less risk we take upon. And by reducing our risk, we increase our profitability and quite frankly, the customer service that we bring to our clients.